All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Hajime no Ippo, Season 2, Episode 12.
Okay.
Hammer Nao has got Ippo in a corner.
Yep, he's on the ropes.
And he's winning the psychological battle. Now, Ippo overcame one of the hurdles in that psychological battle by, in some ways, like making it through this first round, dealing some substantial damage, but also realizing... where
his limits were,
where the problem was. He wasn't driving with his legs at all. His punches were in some ways for show.
Yeah,
they were kind of maybe to lie to himself that he was actually taking this seriously.
Yep. But now can't afford to take too much damage because his usual play style is not very defensive, and those body blows are going to take a while to work. But
right.
The whole solar plexus. Breaking the guard, pushing
being
away
really
the guard.
Tricky with the referees.
Yep.
I like it because in some ways this reminds me of what it's like to be in a competitive sphere where people do things that are technically not legal, but they're also done in such a way where they're not immediately called out, in such a way. It's either something where it's obfuscated by the maneuvering of the player, or it's something where it's like, I was too close to tell, too close to call.
And if you're not cheating, you're not trying hard.
Hey, I mean,
that is kind of the thing.
At the competitive level like that, that extra 1%, it might even just be looked at as cheating, basically. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. He has been running for a while. Like, we've had time pass. It's kind of crazy to think about. Like high school was a while ago. Showing the two of them together kind of in the training room, even though they're in separate lights and stuff. Kind of to show that the world they're in post the Date and Ricardo Martinez fight. Basically, the thing of them being like,
they're in this together, even though they're not. Kind of
right. It's a rivalry in that they both have so long to go, so they're not focused on each other. They're focused ahead, but use each other as kind of the let's go forward. What it means to be a pro.
All right.
A premier pro. Yeah, and then there's the whole thing of him being from a bigger weight class, but thinned out too. Yeah. Whoa. So he knows how to use his legs properly to just adapt to new punch styles and stuff?
Yeah, probably.
This is cool, getting crowd commentary.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh, he's got the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gotta feel so good though for him.
Yeah.
To be on a championship
still Ippo
match,
you're fighting against, so.
Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Oh my god. Wow.
That's great.
This is so cool.
Yep.
This is awesome. Oh. Yeah. He's answering him with this. Yes. Oh. 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 Drop the title. Do it. I have to show you what it means to be a pro. Oh, he opened up his guard.
Right.
Yeah, he's basically being like, hey. Come on.
Yeah.
You don't even have to do anything to make this happen now.
Uh-huh.
He's showing off the aura of the champion, you know?
Right. These are heavy fists.
Oh. 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 He's not even blocking now.
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right.
Okay. So this is wind up then.
Yeah.
Oh, he still took a hit. Whoa. Oh. Just a little too slow. Just a little too slow, but oh my god. Wait. Was he doing what Date did, where he was like intentionally...
I don't know.
Oh, they're doing this music now.
Oh! Oh, that was a good one. It's like he's seeing his life flash before his eyes. He's doing a good job of avoiding Ippo though. And that's what he's been needing to do, so.
Right. He can read his mind just with the way he's moving. That's the best part about anime like this. The fight itself is telling another story in the midst of it, like just with the moves themselves. Ah! Oh, yeah, he has. Like, do you remember the Sendo fight?
Uh-huh.
Oh! Yeah. Oh, no!
Oh!
Whoa.
Yeah, keep it up!
Whoa.
Keep it up now!
Whoa!
You can play that game too. Oh! Oh! After that?
Oh, that little bit of hesitation, and he brings it with the leg! He's giving it his all! Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
With just one punch and a body blow at that, like
Yeah, he might have also punched him in the same spot, too. It looked very similar. Oh.
Your fists are light? Oh, no.
Whoa. Oh!
何発積み重ねでも一発でチャラがよ。なんて不公平なパンチ打つんだ。
Yeah!
物目逆にはっきりする。
Wow. It's his mind basically telling you, you need to decide right now to end this. Think smart here, you know?
チャンピオンに憧れる。だけど自分は
Oh, that's so good.
幕の内一歩が最終目標だった。おい、立ちそうだぞ。嘘だろ。あれもらって立てるわけねえよ。いや、立つぞ。なお、おめえはまだ幕の内さ。すべて。
Yeah, this conversation isn't over.
Right.
Oh.
お母さん。
Oh,
心配
oh,
かけないよ。
oh.
自分がボクシング始めてずっと心配かけたけど、もう大丈夫だから。
ボクシングやめるのかい？
あの人に憧れてボクシングを始めた。ずっと目標にしていた。そしてたどり着いた。これが自分の世界タイトルマッチなのだ。
Yeah!
That's right.
And he's got his fighting pose up! And he's gritting those teeth! See, right there, he told everyone he's not cannon fodder.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Because they all expected, oh my god, if he takes one of Ippo's punches like full 100%, he's done. But no, there it is. Oh my god, this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So she wants that. Yeah, exactly. It's the positivity that he changed. Yeah.
Yep.
微笑ましかった
Uh,
あなたは幕の内さんを自慢
She's proud of you. Oh, so she's like praying, like, please, please let him just have exactly what he's looking for happen in this match.
試合の申し込みがあった時さすがにわしもためらった
Oh yeah.
じゃが小僧にとっても成長できる
Right. We've talked about this. Yes. And that's going to make this fight was
Yep.
so important to him, and
Uh-huh.
they'll be able to talk about that as friends
yeah.
afterwards.
取ったバトンをきっちり握りしめているかどうか
Oh,
ここでわかる
we'll find out right now.
Because now this is where Ippo's going to really lay in.
Finish him.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, nice. We were just talking about him learning the 1-2, you know? Mm-hmm. So he's got... Yep, so he's telling him, he's showing him all the moves. He's like, look what I've learned.
Yeah.
Look at all this. And Ippo's like, show me more. That's all the basic stuff. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, my
Yep,
God. Blood immediately.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's the liver blow. Yep.
倒れないなんという根性
Oh, another! Oh, my
Right
own,
in the same place.
my own gut is just tightening up right now. Oh, the uppercut! Oh!
憧れていました
Oh, I love when soft piano plays at these kinds of moments.
Yep. It's a wonderful contrast.
負けないでください先輩と戦えたことが自分と誇りです
Oh, yep, there it is. That's it. His feet left the ground.
Yep.
Jesus.
山田君
Oh. Immediately right there. Yep.
All right.
Yep. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
It was both a bow and Ippo going to catch him.
Yep. Uh-huh. Good job, Ippo.
しっかりしろ大丈夫かわしがわかるか正直何度も危ないと思いました
Mm.
強い挑戦者に勝てて今はほっとしています
Right
Good.
now. But for a couple seconds ago, you were shifting back into senpai role for a second there. Yeah.
飾ったチャンピオンの勝利
Ooh.
どう
Ooh.
元事務
Yeah.
対戦は印象はどうでした途中少々苦戦したように見えましたが
あいや少々なんてもんじゃないですパンチ効きましたもうやりたくないですね
Mm.
もう一度負けて悔しかったしボクシングの奥深さを知ったしだからきっと彼がまたキングに上がると
Oh. Oh. But Ippo,
なっているはず
you don't know. He might not go back into the ring again. But by him saying that, you think he will now?
I think he's going to.
試合をしていては上には通用せんぞすみません
Yeah. Yeah, you could have won 30 seconds into round one if he was really...
でも試合も終わったし何を話すつもりじゃ、残念だったねと慰めるつもりか勝者が敗者にかける言葉などこの世界にはないのじゃ
Okay.
シャワー浴びてきます幕の内さ幕の内さおめの気持ち伝えられたのかわかりません
honest.
夢中でパンチを出してあの幕の内一歩と全力で打ち合えたんです
Yep.
自分は満足です
Oh. Oh.
イグベなお母に謝らなければ
Oh.
Because I'm not done. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
ダビが聞こえて
Oh, good. Okay. Oh, that just lit a fire in him.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
強くなれる
Okay.
しまったら
Yeah, go back up to those weight classes and
Yeah.
like,
もっと
Yeah.
yeah.
やってみようボクシング
Oh, come on. No way.
マグノージ
先輩先輩先輩先輩やりましたね
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
いいのか
はい自分は
Yeah.
サンプルをし
hmm
ました
Cool.
大事なことも教わりました
Ah.
そうリングの上でたくさん教わった
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a perfect
Awesome.
picture right there.
Yep. Okay.
しみるな
Dang.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Ooh. Cool. All right.
Okay.
Wow. I really like that episode. Ooh. Yeah.
Good job now.
Yeah, good job now. I just realized the timing of we talked about nothing important then made love and it shows Takamura like
With tentacles.
dream kisses me still half asleep and I wish that we could stay like this for 8 a.m. As I feel alarm to watch her sleep and think I'd do anything if I could make this time rewind forever to 7:59. All right. Oh my god. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Hammer
Yep.
Now. Nope. Not retiring.
That's right.
Not retiring. Ippo, your interview literally changed his life, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, we won't know what happens in the future, but, like, you saying that and being you, despite, you know, having to overcome your, yes, hesitancy to be aggressive and tap into that, you know, kind of killer instinct.
And you would probably
Yeah.
beat him again if you faced him again, you know, even
probably a year
6
from
months
now.
or a year from now.
Yep.
But, you know, but still. Yeah.
But still.
Oh, man.
I'm really proud of both of these boxers here.
Yep. The way the fight went was great. It really felt like Now was able to fully give everything that he had, incorporate some of, you know, his coach's teachings of like, hey, you need to avoid some hits too. Like he was doing a good job of dodging Ippo, like towards the end there.
Yeah, I think that was really specific. The fact that they focused on showing how Ippo went into a slugfest kind of mode and shifted his guard a bit to basically be like, I'm going to make sure that he shifts more onto the defensive. And it worked. However, I want to basically make the supposition that maybe it was because of Ippo's punches being slower because of the damage Ippo had taken just recently.
Sure. I would not be surprised.
But, yeah, it definitely still felt like Ippo was slightly, and that was what the coaches were rating him after, slightly treating him like a Kohai in the way that they were fighting even at that point.
Oh.
Like he was still fighting a little bit. It wasn't until he actually started like shifting like almost entirely into just destroying him that it seemed like he was actually like trying to do this as a champion should.
That wasn't the impression I got, but that is interesting. That would be a way to explain the fact that he wasn't able to hit now, since avoiding punches has not been Nao's specialty.
And we haven't seen him box, you know, other than this fight really in his full, you know, form here. Right. So this is something that's cool to see, that he has the he has the physical capacity to be a quick boxer in addition to
Right.
being that. But Ippo is so much better of a boxer that it's probably something where, Ippo was definitely hampered because of the actual punishment he had taken from Nao.
One of the things that it really, pun intended, hit home, you know, to me, was the idea that just how powerful Ippo's punches are. Because Nao was coming from 4 weight classes up, right? He was taking punches from people. Now, I can't, I don't remember off the top of my head what is the exact weight difference for each.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Classification, you know? But that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's probably something that was extremely difficult to do over the course of the time. But he did have to do it like one weight class, or I think one
weight class at a time, and then doing some issues and things like that. But like Nao would have been, and Nao was used to taking hits, right? That was part of the problem, is that he would take a bunch of damage in his fights, and that's not good for his long-term career.
His ears are shredded,
Right. But he's used to taking those hits, at higher weight classes.
Yes.
Now Ippo's punches are ridiculous; they're stupid, but still, at higher weight classes, you would think that, you know, in general, he would be fighting people that on average would be, you know, a lot stronger than people in featherweight, even though Ippo is like probably has some of the strongest punches in featherweight, other than maybe Ricardo.
Right.
You know,
in fact, one of the things that makes sense about the fact that he would take all this extra damage as well is that the damage potential at the higher weight classes goes up higher, but I would say your resistance to the punches isn't necessarily higher. So one of the things that, because it's not like you having, you know, 5 pounds of extra weight on you or something like that is going to make, you know, the difference of defense or what have you on the punch that much different, really.
Right. It would probably help. But all things considered,
but I would say that it would go like this if the defensive
it wouldn't keep up.
Right. The defensive caps, I would say, as you move up in weight, do not keep up with the offensive caps.
Because it would probably still help having that extra muscle, you know, and your bones being thicker, maybe, you know, like, that could help out.
Oh, totally. But yeah, what I've heard is that featherweight matches can go longer in general, usually, because the offensive caps are the lowest they could be in boxing. Just in general.
But like
Ippo,
super heavyweight or something.
Right. But if Ippo is the hardest hitter in the featherweight category, with Sendo also having maybe that title with regards to his smash punch, that's something where even if he's taking lots of punishment, the amount of individual punishment from one punch that Ippo does is probably comparable to a punch that is a really painful punch in a higher weight category.
Right, and that's what blew me away, is the idea that it wasn't a headshot, you know, it was a body blow, right? And even though it was a liver blow, that's, you know, Ippo's liver blows, they suck, right? But it was to someone who is used to 4 weight classes higher, and he hadn't been taking much damage, and just one punch, boom, blood, and he's down.
So I want to go back and check, but the first punch he hit him with that was the one that knocked him down was, I don't believe that was a liver blow.
Oh, okay.
Later, he does a double left liver blow, which is basically I would say that was the respectful way of saying, I'm finishing this. Sit down. Right. I'm the champion here. Because it was basically saying, hey, you used a liver blow on me. How would you like to feel my liver blow? Boom. He hits him, and then he's like, oh my God. And he's like, that hurt. But then he's like, no, we're not done yet. Boom, hits it again. That I was so proud of Nao to be able to stand up in the midst of that. But I'll go back and check. I believe actually he was matching his solar plexus blow a little bit and giving him like pretty much a straight just on right into the center of his gut when he did that one there. There might have been a little bit of up in it, but I'll show it here, but it was not a...
Because I would have thought that because since they mention it every time that it's the solar plexus blow, I would have thought that they would mention that for Ippo. But
like, I don't think Ippo knows how to do a solar plexus blow necessarily, but I think it was just that he was basically just hitting him very close to the same spot. Like,
Gotcha.
It wasn't
Another straight on, like,
right. It wasn't a side hit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show it here again really quick. So he steps in. Yeah, it's straight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's straight on, right to the gut. It's a left. It's a left, and he's driving his whole body into it. Like his whole body is facing to the right as he's done it. And it really looks kind of awkward, actually, because his palm is facing down. So maybe I'm just weird. Like maybe I've just been Hollywoodized by so much boxing stuff. But I usually see it where it's like this.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know how much force you can get like this comparatively. It feels like you would use more muscles punching like this with like that. But I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But
yeah, it was just something where, you get the air behind his back and everything. And it's...
Yeah, because this is the punch where he's using his whole body behind it. Like,
yes,
it's not something where it's just the upper body. Right. Like Ippo's punching you with the earth right now. Like that. That's not really fair.
So wild though.
Yeah. So
the whole power of his punches came from just the ability to tap into his entire body at once and command it. We're working all at once here. And that's probably what makes Ippo so strong, is just the fact that, he's got those natural back muscles that he's developed. Mm-hmm. But just the fact that his superpower, if anything, is that he can tell his body,
and it does it.
Let's do this, and it actually listens.
And if anything, that's actually kind of the problem that he had with this fight.
Oh, right.
Is that he
wasn't doing that.
He wasn't doing that.
Psychological barriers in place that need to break through.
But one of the things, whenever this is brought up, and maybe it's because it's boxing or something, I don't know, or whatever, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But whenever there's the whole thing of the mom that's watching the match and is watching her boy get the shit beaten out of him, right? But that's what he wants to do, that's what makes him happy. So it's like, so she's happy for him, but then at the same time, she's stupidly worried, right? Mm-hmm. And she's there to sort of cheer him on because she wants him to do well and everything. Like that's the kind of thing where
it just hits you in the kokoro. It's hits really
right
good.
In the kokoro. Like, because maybe it's because it's such a violent sport, that that sort of the tenderness of the person who raised you being there, when it happens, just feels all the more visceral.
Right. I definitely feel that as well. That is something that is a nice kind of contrast to the fact that it is a violent sport, particularly. And there's usually attributed, especially with anime moms, some aspect of them being rather comforting, soft, warm, certain traits that basically would be antithetical to aspect of boxing. But what I loved here, in addition to that, was that the fact that she sees this in the same way, in that Date's wife kind of saw it, in that she's like, I don't want you to come back necessarily without that aspect of you that was positively influenced by this guy that I've only heard the name of, never actually seen him before. And then she's like, oh my God, so this is the guy that the last 2 years of your life you dedicated specifically to? Like, that's crazy to think about. One, I was just kind of thinking back earlier. It's like, wow, it has been a long time.
Yeah.
In some ways, this guy here, Yamada-kun or Hammer Nao, is like that reminder of how much of a journey Ippo has been on.
Sure.
Because encapsulated within that journey, another journey happened with this other character here. And they were changed forever.
Yeah.
And yet the worry that the mom was having might not necessarily be about the fact that he's getting hurt with boxing and stuff. It's about maybe that change is going to be temporary.
Yep. Because, and it wasn't brought up here, but if I recall correctly, Yamada used to get bullied a lot before he started boxing.
Yes.
And Ippo connected with him over that. He was like, I did too. And he's like, you? Really? Like,
he was like, no.
There's no way, right?
Right. Because Yamada came into Ippo's journey when Ippo was already like
a
6
year
months
into it,
or a year into it.
Something like that. And so having the mom have all the flashbacks of when Nao was sort of like building up to this point and everything.
Right.
And the part where he's like, hey, you won't need to worry about anymore. I'm going to I'm going to retire soon. I'm going to be fighting my senpai.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
that was cool. But the parts where she flashes back and sees him and he's like showing her, I learned the 1-2 today.
the 1-2.
Like, oh my god. Because she's seeing her boy that she probably wanted to be like, yeah, like, you know, I
Right.
wish I could say help you, for instance. But she can't,
No.
right? You know, with whatever he was
gotta
going
become
through
a man
before,
on his
bullying
own
or whatever.
terms.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. He's got to figure out his own way of doing things,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And then here he's found it, right?
Mhm.
Even though it's something that also brings him a lot of physical pain and suffering, he's found his
Right.
way, so that's great, right?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, she wouldn't want him to lose that, so of course she'd be here. Of course she'd be here watching it, right?
Yeah.
Because this is everything that she could have hoped for, even if it was absolutely not in the form that she
Right.
would have expected.
Right.
So
Yeah. There's more power to moms out there who get out of the way of their sons specifically to let them chase after the
Yeah.
thing that they're,
Mhm.
you know, impassioned and, you know, feeling
Yep.
empowered to do. But then also basically are willing to, in some ways, bear with the pain of seeing them struggle
right.
through these tough obstacles that they're intentionally seeking.
Yep.
Because this is something I think that's universal. I think when someone in general goes after, you know, some kind of meaningful pursuit and intentionally goes after the struggling hurdles and the mountains in front of them, there's something inspiring about that, right?
Oh,
you can
for sure,
you can definitely get some kind of vicarious thing from observing that, even if they're not overcoming it.
Right. And
it's just the fact that they're approaching it.
Success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile goal. Right. And even if it's something that wouldn't be worthwhile for you if you did it, right? When you see them doing it because it's worthwhile to them,
right,
then it transcends the thing that they're doing.
Right.
So,
but what's also really cool is when you're the one going into the trenches, you're the man in the arena, you're actually like putting the blood, sweat, and tears into this whole thing, and you look into the stands and you see the people that care about you cheering you on and watching you there. There's this visceral, carnal, just physical emboldening that happens that makes you realize that they're not doing this because they're, you know, thinking like you have to succeed or something like that. They're there watching you go through the process, the actual struggle bit. So it's so good.
And one of the things that's like in my mind, like the other side of that coin too, is when the crowd started cheering.
Yes.
Now.
Yeah.
Because okay, when he started, right, and he was Barf Michi, right? And you know, and even before then, right? He never would have thought that he would have ended up here.
True.
Right? And when he was applying himself and everything, when he was chasing after Ippo after, say, he had already moved, right? There would have been all kinds of doubts probably of like, okay, what am I doing, right? Because you know, when you're at the same gym as Ippo and Takamura and hanging out with them is probably pretty easy to do boxing stuff, right? You know, because it's like, well, hell yeah, why would I do anything different, right?
Yeah, the environment begets in some ways the inspiration or the desire to do the thing.
But to create and maintain that environment when you're not in that environment, right? When you're the one making it all happen.
You don't have a senpai that's physically in front of you. You have to literally visualize them in front of you.
That could get really hard, I could imagine.
Oh, and it definitely does.
And especially hard when you think about the fact that this is also a competition. So you can't be going at 80%. That's not pro level. That won't get you anywhere.
You'll be moving.
Which is important.
Better
but not
to
fast
crawl
enough.
than stand
exactly.
still.
But that won't cut it, right? And it would be so easy, I can imagine, for Yamada after he left to have been like, yeah, I keep up boxing, but it becomes more of a hobby, right? You know, it becomes something where he does it, but because he's not with Ippo and Takamura and everybody, he's not really putting like it might be a dedicated hobby, but he's not really putting blood, sweat, and tears into it, you know. So the fact that he does that and then he sees the results of that with all the other people being like going from, oh, he's cannon fodder to hell yeah, you do it. You lay into the champ. You go. Like and it's completely unbiased because like there's the special aspect of when it's his mom, right?
Oh yeah.
But then there's the unbiased aspect of no, these people are just strangers.
They don't know who you.
They don't know who I am.
They know who you are. Yeah.
And yet what I did over these last 2 years was enough that even these random strangers start to believe in me and be like, yeah, you go.
Yeah.
Like that's I love it.
Yeah. This was a good episode. There's a couple things that were little details that I thought were really like exciting and fun. I felt like this episode was a season 1 style of episode, and that it felt like a character growth episode rather than a
Fight
climax.
episode?
No, like a climax of boxing kind of potential, in that this was a character fight more than a competence fight. So to draw the comparison there, this is not a like this is obviously not a Date Ricardo Martinez fight.
This felt more like a Kobashi fight.
Yeah, well, and then and then what was
Otsuma?
Otsuma was the previous guy that the coach here was taking care of and stuff and training. This was a fight where we got, though, season 2 visuals and animation, though, connected to that. So that made it, in some ways, really fun to watch the actual boxing blows and everything happen, I'd say, in a much more visceral way with the extra like lines and stuff like that. So I felt the punches a lot in this episode. And they've also been getting really good at like hearing the sounds of the box, like the punches like hitting their target and doing
and the
serious damage.
The response sounds of
the body and stuff. So that this episode felt very painful when they wanted it to feel painful. But the part that just choked me up, even more so than the actual like gut wrenching aspect of the liver blows and stuff, was when he's saying "senpai" in his old voice.
Yeah, I know.
Old voice. and then we hear Ippo's new senpai, or Kohai, thank you, Itagaki-kun, coming up and be like, "Yeah, you did it, man, you did it." And you see that in some ways it would be wrong for him to, come up and talk to Ippo like he was his senpai,
because he's not anymore. Like he is, he's still ahead of you in boxing and things like that.
But he's not your senpai,
right? Exactly, and that's what's great about this, because while I would love to see them commiserate and have fun and and hang out, time has passed, and now is a different. He's now, he's now right now. He's not Yamada anymore, right? So this is part of the natural progression of him kind of growing up and moving on to the next stage of things.
Do you see, though, the parallels with regards to the idea of Date passing the baton to Ippo? Date is no longer Ippo's senpai. He's moved on to another world and basically is saying, if you're going to do this, you need to go beyond me. Now, Ippo is not saying to, him to pass the baton or anything like that. It's in some ways more similar to a Miyata-Ippo relationship. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but how often does Ippo call Miyata senpai?
No, he's Miyata-kun hardcore.
Yeah. But this is something I think
blushing and everything.
Right. I think he still does call Miyata senpai every once in a while. Maybe. I don't remember. But what I want to draw a parallel here with is that in this respect, Ippo is now your rival. He is no longer he is no longer your senpai. He is a shining star and a goal and all of this and an ideal that you can put in front of you as a way to visualize yourself moving forward towards something that is really tough to keep up with. So that's good, but he's not your senpai. And I really felt at an emotional level the idea that now was almost in a state of actualization with regards to his progression that he's made over these 2 years. Saying, now it's real, and I'm just getting started.
I love both versions of that, of him saying now it's real versus now. Me, it's real. one of the other things too that could be a way to tie in the whole Date passing the baton, even though it's not that same situation.
Sure.
Is that Nao doesn't have to fight in featherweight though. He fought Ippo. He got his goal.
Sure.
And fighting at this low, yes, Takamura goes down 6 weight classes, but Takamura is insane. So, and I'm sure there's a percentage thing that changes and stuff when, you're at that higher level. So he could go back to higher weight classes.
Right.
And
maybe
still,
like 1 weight class up or 2.
Yeah, or even 2 or 3 or 4, all the way back to where it was at the beginning. Who knows, right? But it's still something where there can then be that separation where essentially something was resolved and ended here.
Right.
He doesn't need to think about, I'm training to fight Ippo again, right?
Yes.
He's doing his own thing for his own reasons because he wants to box, right? And so I love it.
That's the piece de resistance. It's so good. So good. So this story's closed. It had like tears welling up in my eyes towards like multiple parts of it, but I love that this happened in conjunction with the fights that happened previously, which means that Ippo, did you learn the lesson here?
Well,
because I want to bring up the question and the possibility that he didn't fully learn the lesson here. He got a huge step in the door of moving through this, but I don't think he's completely learned the lesson here.
Well, I think it's going to be, I don't think so either. It's something that he will need to continue to learn.
Yes, practice.
Right. So that basically he started making the progress and now he started making that new groove and now he needs to keep doing it so that it becomes an actual groove, that he falls into. But those punches, that series of punches to now in the face, right?
Yeah.
Where like each one drew blood and there were like 3 or 4 of them or something. That was that had me convinced that Ippo was definitely engaging as Ippo the champion.
Right.
So
those are the kind of punches that Sendo gave that made a guy basically unable to want to box anymore.
Yeah.
And so like this happened to someone that then, because of the way you spoke about him at the end of the match, made them want to keep boxing. So, Ippo, you can have both. You can have your interview moments afterwards where you show empathy and respect and wholesome kindness, good boy, everything.
Right.
That you can still do that.
The crowd expects nothing less from you.
Exactly. They laugh with you in that because they're like, ha, that's our Ippo right there. Just being like, no, he had me on the ropes there. They're like, ha, yeah, right, Ippo, yeah, you're so nice. Yeah. Right. And they're all like Ippo was like taking easy on him until he like just put the fear of God in him, But you can also switch on that, like, green-eyed resolve, just desire to win, and just mop the floor with people and spatter the mat with blood. Right. You can do both.
Yep. And he's not to the point where he can do it on a switch like Ricardo.
That is true. He kind of needs to... they do that wind up.
He's working on it. He's getting closer. Yeah.
Which shows that he hasn't, solved this. This is a progression. This is a journey. It is a process. Yeah.
You don't get to the level of Ricardo Martinez accidentally or overnight.
Yep. Or even in a
ever.
Right. Sorry. There is no ascension to God button that you can just keep spamming the level up thing until
maybe you'll
you
get a prompt at some point, but you got to play like you're still going to just do it the raw,
and there's no
manual
way to get the prerequisites for that advanced subclass or whatever thing. You
just got to, put everything in and hope that happens at some point.
Yeah. Yep, keep grinding those matches. That's something that they could keep going with this here in order to show the progression here, is keep giving him solid challengers that keep coming after his title to where he starts to get that greedy hunger of like, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to take this title?
Right.
Like,
and have it teach him something, not in boxing, but in here and here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But hey, quality stuff. Ippo as a show, Ippo as a character, everything wonderful. So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and you can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
Yes, I wrote a sci-fi novel called Battle Lines. It's awesome, and it's available for purchase on Amazon if you're interested. The link is in the description down below to check it out.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.